What does it mean when you have a candidate with Databricks in their background? Hello, Rasul here with Data Talent Advisors with another weekly LinkedIn video. And today we're going to cover Databricks, something you've heard about maybe quite a bit. You've seen it on job descriptions. And really the purpose of the video today is, from a talent acquisition standpoint, what does it mean when you have a candidate with Databricks in their background? Or if you come across a company as a candidate and they are looking for expertise within Snowflake or Databricks, this Databricks thing, how did it come about? So I did the Snowflake video last week. Some of you had commented directly to me, why didn't I also cover Databricks? But I think it would have been a little bit of a distraction, because the way that Databricks has evolved really came about as a result of the commercialization of Hadoop. People can debate when that actually started, but really when it was a little bit more mainstream, it was around 2010, 2011, that kind of time frame where people were really starting to bring in Hadoop into their environments to leverage it better for unstructured data, be able to process data faster. Some of the things that we've covered in previous videos about RDBMS and how we went to some of these like NoSQL data stores and things like that, but we've covered that in past videos. But Databricks kind of came about during this time period where folks that had Hadoop, and we've covered Hadoop, where essentially at a very high level is HDFS, a data processing engine, and a resource manager. So the data processing engine part, which was initially MapReduce for most folks, it was really too slow for folks that had really large volumes of data, where it was taking many, many hours, in some cases a number of days, before they could process their entire batch of data. So Spark came about. That's where a lot of people went to. The Data Artisans product, the open source project, is called Apache Flink, but the one from Databricks and their Apache product was Apache Spark, which many of you have heard of, very popular, and essentially was about 100 times faster than MapReduce from a processing standpoint. Really, the difference between Spark and Flink, there wasn't much. It just was a matter of adoption. There were many other companies that were also in this arms race of data processing companies, other projects, I should say, Apache Storm, Apache Apex, Apache Tez, Stinger. There were just so many of them. It got so crowded. Really, Spark became the prevalent data processing engine that a lot of people were finding within their different environments. And as a result, since the whole idea of Hadoop was the data processing engine, like the distributed file system and the resource manager, you've already got a dominant position in the data processing space as Databricks has and had. So why not bring in those other two pieces? And essentially you have a tool now that will rival anybody else that's utilizing something called a big data as a service, or now a terminology that we see a lot is data lakehouse. And that is the way that Snowflake is also being marketed. Initially, it had come out as a cloud data warehouse platform. Now you see it being referred to as a data lakehouse platform. That's kind of where they are. They kind of came from two different areas, whereas Snowflake really was alleviating a lot of the costs that people were facing from a data warehousing standpoint, or we're using a terminology called data warehouse optimization to just offload some of the data you had in your data warehouse. People didn't want to rip and replace it, but that's kind of where we are today and why we are where we are. Now, I don't want to do a full SWOT analysis, because this is really to help candidates and also both internal and external fellow recruiters. What does this mean when you see candidates with Databricks in their background? They're going to be from relatively advanced environments. These environments may be cloud friendly, but it will be a progressive environment if they are using Databricks or Snowflake for that matter. Okay. Now, the main difference between the two is that Databricks is available for on-premise environments or in the cloud, any of the infrastructure as a service providers, whereas Snowflake, for the most part, I believe, last I read, was only available in the cloud. I still don't believe that it's available on-prem. Those of you that are users of Snowflake and Databricks and know this answer, I'd love to hear from you. I am a recruiter after all, but really trying to provide some of this high-level info. So that's kind of the big difference between the two. The Snowflake tool is available across Azure, GCP, AWS, whereas the flexibility that you get with Databricks is the on-premise portion. Now, there have been some things that I've read that supposedly Databricks does a better job with machine learning, data science, those kind of things. There is a tool within Snowflake called Snowpark, And there are some other modules like Snowpipe, things like that you should look into, because Snowflake has pretty much addressed some of those other gaps that people are maybe pointing out to that I don't believe is 100% accurate. Architects, data engineers, developers, folks that are working with some of these tools, please do chime in. This is really to help community just be more aware of this tool that we're hearing so much about. And one of the reasons that I did not cover Databricks in the Snowflake video is I just wanted to have these particular tools. These are really the two main competitors against each other in this particular data lakehouse platform arena. Just wanted to give them their own time. And again, this video is not sponsored by Databricks, nor was the Snowflake one by Snowflake. This is just really from my own experiences in working with different candidates. So for today's video, that's really the end of it. Make sure to hit the notifications button if you like the content that we're sharing. Please make sure to share it with your colleagues. Give us a like, follow us, follow me. Come to our website, www.datatalentadvisors.com. And for today's video, I'm over and out of here. Thank you for your time.